Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to study law of diminishing marginal utility, that is law of DMU, which is very important from your exam point of view. See, first of all, I would like to tell you in short the main meaning or the gist of the law. What is this law of DMU about? See, from the name itself we get an idea. Diminishing means falling. Marginal utility. The word marginal means additional. So in this law, we are going to see how the additional utility from the consumption of any commodity goes on falling. If we continue the consumption of any particular commodity, then but natural, whatever additional utility we are getting out of that commodity, that starts falling, and that is what is we are going to study in this law of diminishing marginal utility, law of DMU, very important and famous law from your exam point of view also. So let us start actually what is the law about. So whenever any law is asked in your exam, whenever it is asked, you have to follow certain sequence while writing the answer of any law. Now for example, this current law of DMU, then there is a sequence. First always write the introduction of the law, then you have to write the statement of the law. That means whatever is the particular statement mentioned by particular economist for that particular law. So statement of the law, so introduction, statement, then after that we have to explain the entire law with the help of schedule and diagram. After that comes the assumptions of the law, and then the last one is exceptions to the law. So this is the sequence for writing any law: introduction, statement of the law, schedule and diagram, then assumptions, then exceptions. It's not necessary always you write the assumption exception. It depends on whatever being asked in the exam. So let us start. Introduction. The law of DMU, it was first proposed by Professor Gaussen but was discussed in detail by Professor Alfred Marshall in his book Principles of Economics, published in the year 1890. So I repeat, this law of DMU, actually originally it was first proposed by Professor Gaussen, but at that time he did not discuss in detail. So that's why a need was felt to discuss this law in detail, and it was done by Professor Alfred Marshall in his book Principles of Economics, which was published in the year 1890, 1890. Then this law of DMU, what is this law? In this law we see how the marginal utility diminishes. So this law is universal in character. It is applied universally. It is based on the common consumer behavior. Any consumer, he will behave that way only, that utility derived diminishes with the reduction in the intensity of a want. See, in the initial stage our want is very intense, so we find very high utility from commodity, any commodities consumption. But as and when we continue the consumption, the utility starts falling. That is what is proved by this law, diminishing marginal utility, that the additional utility goes on falling. So this was the intro. See, in intro you may write just Professor Gaussen about Professor Marshall and his book. That much is enough. Then moving on to statement of the law. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, see students, whenever you write statement of any law, it is very much compulsory to write the statement as it is. In introduction, doesn't matter, you just mention the correct name of the economist, the professors. Introduction you may write in own words also, doesn't matter, but statement you have to write as it is. Not even a single word will change. It is not accepted. So do learn the statement. Literally you have to learn the statement. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remaining constant, comma, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. See, you may find that the statement is bit lengthy, but don't worry, always there is a link between the statement. See how the link is. Now, right now I am just explaining the link of the statement. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remaining constant. See, this is a ceteris paribus assumption. That means whatever are the underlying conditions of the law, we have to follow that. So following those conditions, this phrase is used, other things remaining constant. What happens in the law? The additional benefit which a person derives. That means nothing but marginal utility. The additional benefit which a person derives. From where we are getting this? So there is a link in the statement. From a given increase in his stock of a thing. That means as and when the person's stock of a thing increases, the additional benefit he is deriving out of that stock, what happens next is diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. So in any statement there is a link. If it's possible for you to remember the link, then try to remember that way. Otherwise, straightforward mug up the statement, literally learn the statement. So I am again moving to the statement. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. Statement is over. I repeat the statement for the last time. Please pay attention. You will learn it here itself. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. I hope by this time you must have learned at least half of the statement. Just have a look at the board, you will get the entire statement. So up till now we finish intro and statement. Now let us move on to schedule and diagram. See this schedule, some people may pronounce it as schedule also, doesn't matter. Schedule and diagram or schedule and diagram. That means table, basically table to explain the law. So first column is number of units. We are taking the example. Let us assume apples. Consumer is eating apple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have taken 7 units of apple. And that side another column is marginal utility. Because here we are going to prove the diminishing marginal utility. Let us assume when the consumer ate first unit of apple, he got 10 units of utility. Second unit, he got 8 units utility. Third unit consumption, 6 marginal utility. Fourth unit, 4 utility. Fifth unit, see as the consumption, he goes on consuming continuously, the marginal utility goes on falling. Because now he is getting fed up of eating apple. Now he feels that no, I shouldn't eat. At the sixth unit consumption, he is deriving literally 0 units of utility. That means actually any consumer should stop his consumption there itself, because he is not deriving anything out of that consumption of apple. But still, if the consumer continues the consumption and if he eats 7th unit of apple also, then he will start feeling like he will get some discomfort. That is called disutility. That means instead of benefit, he will suffer little bit. So it is disutility or negative utility, that is -2 in our example. So this was the table. Now same thing we'll plot in the diagram. Look at the diagram carefully, clearly mentioned on the board, clearly shown on the board. Y-axis we have taken marginal utility. X-axis we have taken units of commodity. So on the Y-axis we have taken 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on the upper side. On the lower side, negative side, -2, because there is this utility also. Now how to plot the points? Some students find it difficult. That's why I have shown the point plotting with the help of dotted lines also, so that whoever doesn't know may please refer that way. See, first unit of consumption, dotted line is going up, and that side on the MU column it is 10, because from the first unit he is getting 10 MU. So first point. Then accordingly I have plotted on the point all the points. By joining the points we will get a MU curve which is downward sloping. It is downward from left to right. So we are getting MU curve, and it is entering into negative also, which is shown by the shaded area, which is called as disutility. Minus utility means disutility. Now see, now comes the time for explanation of the diagram. Now many students are worried like how to write the explanation. So don't worry, whatever we have done, the way we have drawn the diagram, we will write that only. We'll explain that only, that okay, this way we have done the explanation this way. See here, in the alongside diagram, units of commodity X are measured on the x-axis, whereas MU is measured on the y-axis, whatever we have done. Various points of MU are plotted as per the schedule and we obtain MU curve by joining them. We have done that only, so we will write same way. MU curve slopes downwards from left to right, which shows that MU goes on diminishing with every additional unit of consumption. When MU becomes 0, that means the point of sixth unit, the MU curve intercepts the x-axis, and if further consumption is done, then this utility is there, which is shown by the shaded area in the diagram. So that's it. Explanation is over. Today's lecture is over. In today's lecture, we saw the introduction, statement, schedule diagram and explanation. I hope it helps. Guys, do support me and watch other lectures as well as playlist uploaded on my channel. And if you got it, then make sure to like, share and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.